Silk National Football Show, hour number 2. Hey, by the way, I believe the 49ers are going to be a fantastic football team next year, too. They're going to have – they're in better shape than the Eagles. Okay? Bosa's getting an extension. Samuel's under contract. McCaffrey's under contract. Williams is under contract. Warner's under contract. Their secondary's under contract. They got to figure out the quarterback thing. That by the way, that is huge. Okay, that is huge. Because the last 7 years, Kyle Shanahan has had the worst luck at quarterback than any coach in the league. Okay? 49ers have a great roster coming back. The Eagles don't. The Eagles do not have a great roster coming back as of February 13th. You don't know who's coming back yet because you got to figure out the quarterback thing. You have no idea. You have no idea what you have coming back on that roster. Zero. The Niners have all their stars coming back. Kittle's back. And their defense is back. By the way, I'll say this to you. Kansas City's front four, I underestimated them. They were better than I thought. Because they stuffed the Eagle O-line. They stuffed them. They stuffed the Eagles O-line. Okay? They stuffed them. All Eagles go like this. Yes, we do. The entire offense is locked up. But Sanders, your right guard's not. Your running back's not. And your center may retire. I wouldn't say locked up. Your defense has nothing locked up. Sweat, Reddick, and who? Jordan Davis? Your entire defense is not locked up. So when you say that, you have half a football team locked up. Not true. They have both sides of the ball with their stars locked up. Maniac goes, drop some defense. We got a good draft picks. So here we go again. Howie, the drafter? No, thank you. Howie, the drafter? Really? He can't draft a corner to save his freaking life. He can't draft a safety to save his life. He's got one wide receiver in 20 years, right? What? He doesn't draft linebackers. TJ Edwards was a free agent. What are you talking about? The drafting guru of Howie Roseman. Really? Where do you see that? Howie Roseman, Hurts may be his greatest draft choice. The rest of them, I wouldn't say Jordan Davis is a bust yet. That's not fair. And I never said that. He just has to pick his ass up and pick his game up more. Big Sills can't outplay him. My rookie year is better than him. I can't be better than the 13th pick. Jonathan goes, Dan, dual threat quarterbacks don't win anything. He didn't win anything. He was beaten. Don't change the yardsticks. He didn't win. You don't get credit for playing well in a loss. Since when does that loser? Man, that is the biggest, stupidest shit that I hear people talking about all the time now. It's got to be because of the politics and what people watch on TV now. That people move the yardsticks. When I was raised, if you lost a game, no matter how great you played, you still took the L. Where does that mentality come from? Is that like today's people? Hey, we lost a game, but I played great. I'm sorry, I'm foreign. That's foreign to me. That's really foreign to me. That's so foreign to me. Well, hey, I played great. And by the way, I said it. Jalen was spectacular in the game. He still hung an L on him. Still, they got an L on him. Everyone wins. Like Hollywood Hogan said, everyone wins. Here's a medal. It was stupid. Hey, I'm maybe I should be, because in my loss in my championship game, I played my greatest game too. But everyone always reminds me we lost to Penn State. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Led the team in tackles. I had a sack. You lost, Sills. Shit. Could never get around the L. People try to get around the L. You lost. They do everything in their power nowadays to try to get around the L. It's like you dress up the L. You lost. You lost. Look at Maniac. Look at him dress it up here. Second-year quarterback. Made the playoffs. First season. Made the Super Bowl second season. Look at him dressing it up. All L's. All L's. I'm in on offense, Sills. Oh, okay. On offense. Okay. I'm not dressing anything up. So hang on here now. So let's see. So Daniel Jones. Hey, man, he really had a great turnaround year, like Jalen did a year ago. Looks really good. Let's give him $35 million. If I were the Eagles, man, I'd be hoping that the Giants give that guy $35 million a year, because he's a bum. Daniel Jones is a bum. The Eagle defense has played bums all year. Let me dress your defense down. Everything I said about your defense is fact. They were overrated. The Philadelphia defense is overrated, overhyped, and undercoached. Am I wrong? Tone? Am I wrong? Overrated, overhyped, and undercoached. I saw a lesser roster beat your ass last night. Down 10. Seriously, the only reason that the Chiefs aren't still scoring, because the clock ran out. Because the clock ran out. And shit, the running back would have scored. And the running back would have scored, but they wanted to eat the clock. Turnovers? No. Turnover. There was only one in the game. But we have the stats. You sure did. You win a stat game. You don't win the game. And when you needed your special teams, Howie failed you. Howie failed you so much in that game yesterday. The coaches he put on the sidelines and his special teams. Yeah, because Howie bought into who he was too. He bought into his ego. I gotcha. How you like me now? I gotcha. Okay. Lesser roster whipped your ass last night. Better coaching was on display. Dude, it was like you know what it was like? It was like watching like Napoleon's Republican Guard versus like the English Army, and him just destroying the English Army with 200 soldiers. Okay, or it's like watching 300. Okay, when they beat the Persians with like 15 guys. That's what it was like watching. Holy cow, man. And you guys bought into that shit all year long because you know why? The media in Philly kept telling you this defense is the best. I kept telling you the whole year, they're not who they are, because this list of quarterbacks that I wrote down again, they were never challenged. And I told you on Friday, this is either going to vindicate or validate what I said about your Eagle defense. And it actually vindicated what I said. They sucked all year because they didn't have to do anything great. We got the best corner sills in the NFL. No, you don't. You never did. You never had the best corners because the best corners don't play zone coverage. And everyone wants to pay them $15 million. You want to pay zone coverage corners $15 million a piece. Where would you do that? You could get rookies to do that. Wait a minute. That's exactly what the Chiefs did. They lined up 2 rookie corners and went out and said, well, we could beat you anyway. We don't have to do what the Eagles were planning on trying to do this coming offseason. Spend $35 million on 2 guys who are playing zone coverage. Everyone kept telling me, Sills, we got the best hand. I'm like, how can you say that when you don't play press coverage ever? Better comparison, the Eagles coaching staff looks like a bunch of college kids at the Ale House playing fantasy football on their boards. Joey B, thank you, brother. I never bought into the defense because they couldn't put teams away. Great observation, Steven. Great observation. And the RPO system could never put teams away. That's why teams crawled back into games against the Eagles. Okay? I think you need a red zone back. I think you need a LeGarrette Blount. A guy like LeGarrette Blount, instead of having Jalen do it all, a guy and Blount would have been remarkable on this team. Those guys would have ran the Chiefs over in the red zone, and it would have been dominant. They need a red zone back. Somebody in that red zone. Who was that dude that used to play up in New York with the Giants? What's his name? Jacobs? You guys remember that guy Jacobs? That big kid from Auburn. I'd love to have a guy like that running the ball for the Eagles in the red zone. Put his ass back there. You want Jalen to run in between the 20s? That's all good in open space. But they need red zone backs. Man, Miles Sanders, man, what a disappointment. Seriously, what an absolute disappointment. The takeaways. I'm going to get to my sheet again because I want to reset. I liked the Super Bowl. I enjoyed it. Okay, I enjoyed it. The coaching staff, once again, completely cost this football team the opportunity to win. Tone says, why won't the Eagles add a power back to their running back rotation? Wouldn't it be having a solid job in Heyman? Right, it would be the knockout punch. The Eagles don't have a knockout punch on that team. Sanders is soft, and Jalen's the only tough running back you have. Do you know Jalen Hurts is the only bona fide, steady running back that the Eagles have? You're asking him to do way too much. You don't even ask Patrick Mahomes to do that. You know what Mahomes does? Mahomes takes off in a timely fashion. Everything Mahomes did in that game was with the most efficiency. He was the most efficient quarterback of the two. He only had 53 plays. He had to be. The Eagles had 20 more plays, which means 3 more series than Kansas City. They were more efficient, especially in the second half. His only incomplete pass was the throwaway. It was a throwaway. Second half, it was a complete shit show coaching-wise for the Philly. Complete shit show. There was nothing that worked except the quarterback. He was the only thing keeping you from a blowout in the second half. Jalen Hurts kept that score down. God forbid you had 2 more turnovers. They'd have put 60 on you. If you had turnovers in that game, he might have put 60 points on you. Jalen kept you in that thing. Special teams was never addressed. And get this, the Eagles made 2 critical mistakes. That big punt return that brought it down inside the 10 and Jalen's fumble. There's your ball game. And the inability to coach and adjust in the second half. You couldn't adjust. Here, we should have known this, though, after the New Orleans game. When they handed Gardner Minshew Jalen Hurts' playbook that they couldn't adjust. They're not good coaches. They're great organizers. And they don't have to have trust in a player. You know why? Because it's the front office that decides all moves on that staff. Nick Sirianni didn't hand over the play calling. It was taken from him. Do we not agree now? You think Nick just up and gave it to him? If you do, you're an idiot. It was taken from him when they were 2-5. It was taken. Howie took the play calling from him. You need to be a head coach. Hire Seth. They'd never listen to him. They'd be afraid of him. They'd be afraid of him. Vic Fangio got $162,000 for 2 weeks worth of consulting the Eagles for the Super Bowl. You might as well threw that money in a trash can because all it did was confuse them. Let me show you something here about how this right here. See, Joey? Hey, Tone, put Joey B's up. Put Joey B's up here with the $162,000 that the Eagles. See that right there what Joey B just did? This shows you the organization at its finest. So inside the coaching staff, Joey B's right. Watch this. You got Jonathan Gannon. You got Vic. You've got Tracy Rocker. You've got Howie Roseman. You've got all these consultants giving an opinion. You got all these guys telling you how to run your team with no clear decision maker. That's what you got in Dallas. Got a lot of opinions, but no resolve. You know why Andy Reid wins? It's his show. It's his show. And the general managers are there to work for him, not vice versa. See, Sirianni works for Howie. Most places that have success, like Pittsburgh, how many times did Kevin Colbert come on this place and go, Kevin Colbert goes like this. You never see Kevin Colbert during the regular season when he was the general manager of the place. Why? Because it was Mike Tomlin's show. Off season, that's when he puts the team together and helps put the team together for Mike. And they've done that from Neil Donahue to Kevin Colbert. There's only been 3 general managers from 1969 and 3 head football coaches. There's a reason Pittsburgh wins, even with lesser talent, because there's one decision maker. In Philly, you have 8 guys in a room deciding what the game plan is. That means you have no game plan. You got a bunch of people talking and talking heads telling you, well, we should do this. We should do that. Hey, this is what they like to do. Shit, in Kansas City, Andy goes, we're doing this. And everyone puts a game plan around it. Too many, you got too many people in with too many decisions, and that's an organizational disaster. Howie put the wrong coaching staff on the sideline, didn't address free agency, and believed in his hype. And now he's got to rebuild the team. Oh, that's probably right up his alley, though. How many people believe Howie Long's going to draft, or Howie Long? How many people believe that Howie's going to put a good draft together? He didn't last year. What guy was worth the shit that he drafted? The backup tight end? Kind of. Well, you think last year's draft was good? I don't know. I can't tell. Kobe Dean's never gotten on the field. Jordan Davis, after his injury, was like in hibernation. And the rest of that stuff was non-factor. But he's a great talent evaluator. No, he's not. He's a great deal maker. He's a great deal maker. He is that. I give you that. But that's what he does. Because he's, you know where he comes from? He's a capologist. He doesn't come from personnel. Howie doesn't come from personnel, guys. Joe Banner did. Joe Banner came from personnel. Joe Douglas came from personnel. Andrew Barry came from personnel. Howie came from a bank. He came from a bank. Fangio's Miami contract, $4.5 million a year. Like I said, Joey B, you don't have to be a very good coach nowadays to rob an organization for money. You just don't. You don't have to be very good. And okay, whatever, dude. Yeah. Howie Roseman worked in human resources. And then when Chip was in there, he was in the custodial section of the NovaCare Center. And he said this, man, when he came out of the custodial branch at NovaCare, I am going to put people in a position that are all yes men to me. And I'm never going to have anybody stabbing me in the back ever again. Like when I got pushed to the custodial duties and they gave me a mop, I will never in a million years be put into that closet again. And guess what? The owner gave him the contract extension to prove it. He chose wrong. Doug Peterson is on that sideline Sunday night. The Eagles win the Super Bowl. The owner chose wrong. Doug would have run the place like Andy runs Kansas City. Would have ran the place like Kansas City and Jacksonville. His first year, Doug Peterson wins a division, playoff game, and turns his quarterback into a Pro Bowler. Nick Sirianni and his staff gets exposed by a better coach. And Doug doesn't answer to anybody. You think he's answering to Trent Baalke? Trent Baalke gets Doug Peterson coffee in the morning and a donut. The one guy that Andy brings, what's his name, Veach? The kid he brought from Philly works for Andy. Veach was the guy that was down in Lubbock going like this. Got to watch his game film on this guy. You got to watch his game film on this guy. You got to watch his game film. You got to watch this guy. It was Patrick Mahomes. Andy Reid didn't know who Patrick Mahomes was. They went from like 26 up to 10 to get him. Got to get this guy. Telling you. And they were winning ball games with Alex Smith. Veach and Reed had to go to Clark Hunt and go like this. This kid in Lubbock's good. Went and grabbed him. Sills, that's where it's a problem. I don't think it was Nick, man. I don't. Oh, I think there's too many voices in the building. It's a problem in Dallas. You got the owner constantly meddling in game day decisions. And you see Howie out there in front of the team locker, Coach Roseman. Coach Roseman, man, he's out there in front patting people on the back. Where was he for that thing? Those were all his guys, coaching staff, players. Whew, man, that was a bad look for him. Someone go, well, he got to the Super Bowl. Yeah, he got to the Super Bowl by default. If defense gets one stop, just one, the Eagles win it. Yeah, dude, they couldn't. They couldn't, Otone. They couldn't get the stop. They were confused. No game is by default. Well, when you got Christian McCaffrey as your quarterback, that's default. And when you had to play against an elite quarterback, like I've been telling you, he was killed. And you know what really is the most disturbing thing about the Super Bowl yesterday? Hey, Tone, they beat you with the 2021 game plan because they knew you wouldn't do anything different because you're not capable of it. They beat you with the same game plan, but they beat you without Tyreek Hill. '21 game. Eagles outrush, or the Chiefs outrush the Eagles. Super Bowl. The Chiefs outrush the Eagles? How's that possible? The Chiefs aren't a running team. They don't have a running back with 1,000 yards. They beat him with Ferdy Pacheco, Ali's doctor in the corner. He's a pretty good ball player. So in 2021, they outrush you. Super Bowl 158 to 115. 70 of the 115 was Hurts. Passing. You guys threw the ball more in 2021 than Mahomes. Mahomes only threw the ball for 271. And in the Super Bowl, he went for 182. He went for 3. Jalen Hurts has thrown for 2 games with 300 yards against the Chiefs, and they lose. Here is the key, though, and why I say efficiency. Look at this. You held the Chiefs in 2021 to 63 plays. In the Super Bowl, you held them to less than that number, to 53. 10 less plays. And you had 72. Their efficiency against your team, this is why they averaged 7 yards a play. They averaged 7 yards a play against you. They didn't have to put up huge numbers. You couldn't stop them. And they beat you with the same plan, but without Hill. They took their 2021 game plan and beat you with it. And you made no adjustments in 2 games. That's coaching? That's incompetent. '85 goes, Sills, what's your game plan for next year? I like that. Got to get CJ signed. Here. 85. Now that I see how Kansas City wins, Hey, but here's the problem. Your coaches aren't good enough. You're going to have lesser players because I'm going to take players off your team here. And that means Jalen's going to have to do more, which means dual threat is going to be more in a position to be injured. So you've got to compensate for this. I'm going to keep one of the linebackers, probably TJ. The other one's out the door. And Kobe Dean better play or I'm cutting him. He better prove to me in training camp he can play or he's not on my wish list for the future. I'm keeping Hargrave. And the big guy better play next to him. He has to start because he's on a rookie contract. Because we're going to build this team like Kansas City's building it, since you guys say that Jalen Hurts is elite, like Patrick Mahomes. Okay. All those DTs are gone. I'm going to have Jordan Davis on a rookie contract making $1 million. Thank you. And the only other guy who's going to make money in the building is going to be my other tackle, which is Hargrave. I'm going to have Josh Sweat, and I'm going to have Hassan Reddick. Pretty good front four. My linebackers have to be TJ, and they have to be Kaiser White. My secondary, CJ's coming back. I don't know where I'm going to put him. Slot, corner, safety, but he's coming back. I am probably going to bring back Darius Slay, to my chagrin, because I don't want dead cap money on my deal. I'm drafting in the second round a safety, getting rid of Epps, and I'm drafting a corner at number 10. And what we're going to do here is we're going to get younger and cheaper because I got to pay the quarterback. I'm going to draft in the second or third round a guard. Jeff Stoutland's going to help. I got to figure out what we're doing at center. Looks like we got the replacement. If he's out, Kelsey, you're saving $10 million there. You look pretty good. Then you can address the quarterback. And quite frankly, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to offer him a 3-year, fully guaranteed contract of $45 million. If he doesn't take it, you're going into the next year on your rookie deal. And get this, if you do it again, I'm going to overpay you. And that's what I'll do. I'll give him 50. You earned yourself an extra. And you do it. If not, I'm not going to tear my team apart, then tear it apart more and give Jalen lesser talent. All in the same. I'm not paying Hurts and putting a lesser talented team on the field. One or the other. Pick one. You can't have both. Nobody in the NFL can have both. Kansas City had 9 rookies starting at one time this year. You got 2 corners that were rookies. You got an end that's a rookie. It can be done. And quite frankly, if you believe that much in Hurts, it has to be done. Miles Sanders, out. Okay? Sanders is out. I might need some depth also at tight end, 4th or 5th round. And I'm getting rid of Minshew. I don't want that shit on me. I need somebody that can, if Hurts gets hurt, that I have somebody like Tyler Huntley behind him. That there won't be that change in direction like we saw this last year where New Orleans, you give him Jalen Hurts' game plan. That's a fundamental flaw that was glaring. Jordan Davis is on pace. To be the new Broderick Buckley. I sure hope not. Niners go like this. The Eagles have been irrelevant for 57 years. Well, the last 20 in the NFC East combined, they have more playoff wins, more Super Bowl appearances than any team in that division. Giants have more Super Bowls the last 20 years. I'll give you. But the Giants have not been relevant in a decade. Hurts is not taking less money. Eric, you're missing it. He gave you the hometown discount this year. He gave you the hometown discount. He's making $1.3 million. You're not going to get another one. You got the hometown discount this year. Okay? Why? That's insulting to go to him and go, hey, take less money. He's already done that. He's already done that. Hey, Jalen, you make $1.3 million this year. Can you do me a favor and take a $10 million haircut next year? Man, what are you, crazy? Come on, man. Dude, if you give Hurts a 2-year, offer him 2 years, you better offer him $100 million, fully guaranteed. Remember, if you want less years, it's got to be more base and fully guaranteed. Because most quarterbacks get 5-year deals. And there's signing bonuses in there. But if you go less in years, better give him a full guaranteed contract. Oh, by the way, let me know when the Eagles raise ticket prices. You see what those scumbags in Denver did? They gave the fans the worst product on the planet and raised ticket prices 10%. What do you think? They're paying for Sean Payton and Russell Wilson? How about that? Show you what the NFL is, man. They don't care. Take a shit on their fans any chance they get. Oh, you love us. Bronco country. It's freaking great. Yeah. Well, you think Jeffrey Lurie's paying for Jalen Hurts' contract extension? Eagle fans will. And what do you think? Oh, come on now. You know better than that. Broncos raised ticket prices 10%. Gave them the shittiest product in the history of the franchise and raised your ticket prices 10%. God. Man. Hey, man. Yeah, we're going to go out. We're going to get the best coach. We're going to turn this thing around with Russell Wilson. Oh, yeah, you're going to pay 10% more. What? Pay an extra $1,000 on your tickets. Hey, you got a $10,000 ticket package, man. You're paying an extra $1,000 on it. Good night. Oh. Has there ever been a high-profile quarterback in their prime that has taken less years and more money up front like we are suggesting Hurts do? Honest question. I don't know where that started too, Tone, where why would Hurts take less money? Why would you say that? You think they're – well, they are – the owner actually was begging for it for Joe Burrow. You think Joe Burrow is going to take less money in Cincinnati? Dude. Hey, Joe, why don't you take less money? Yo, Sills, who replaces Gannon? They'll elevate somebody from within. Oh, Howie will sign somebody. All right, let me take a timeout. Please hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.
When it comes to the fight against insurance companies, large corporations, and the healthcare industry, injured victims are always the underdog. But that doesn't worry us. At Messa & Associates, we're an injury law firm from Philadelphia, and we come to fight. Our clients know that they've got representation with a chip on its shoulder, and it's the same chip that makes Philly the toughest city in the country. Call 215-568-3500 or visit us online at messalaw.com. Messa & Associates, the toughest injury firm in Philadelphia.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer 3 major services, the first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
My name is Fran Salerno. I'm a managing director here at Del Valle Insurance Group. Been in the business for over 36 years, saving people money on their insurance needs. Give us a call. Let us help you custom design an insurance plan that meets both your needs and budget.